Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am taking you through a 30-minute cardio Pilates class. So we'll have 25 moves that we'll do for 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, moving a little bit quicker than usual. But let's start on one end of our mat with our hands interlaced behind our heads. Inhaling to bend down through the upper body, touching the elbows, exhaling to open through the chest. Inhale, round through the spine, touch the elbows, exhale, open up through the upper body, feeling that expansion through the chest and the back. Inhale, lower down, and exhale, straighten up. Just do one more. Inhale, reach the elbows together, stretching through the back. Exhale, stretch through the chest, sending the elbows as far back as you can. Come into your neutral spine now. Let's roll the shoulders back. And roll them forwards, just big motions through the upper body here. Bring your arms up overhead now, interlacing your fingers with your pointer fingers up. Lift up through the upper body and fall up and over to the right side of your mat, feeling that stretch through the left side of your body. And then inhale through center, exhale, fall up and over to the left, feeling that same stretch on the other side. Let's do one more each side. Inhale, lift tall. Exhale, fall up and over to the right. Last one. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, up and over to the left, just warming up through the back. Inhale, come straight up, and exhale, bring your hands down by your sides. Walk your feet in hip distance. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale, come up to a flat back, hands coming to the shins, and exhale, release. 3 more times. Inhale, flat back, pulling the belly button up towards the spine. Exhale, release through the back. 2 more. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, find your flat back. And exhale, hold in your forward fold now, maybe grabbing a hold of the back of your legs, or grabbing onto opposite elbow, swaying gently from side to side, releasing through the back. Then come through center and shake your head yes and no a couple times, just releasing any tension through the neck. Maybe pedal out the legs, just stretching out the backs of the legs, getting ready for the rest of this workout, feeling that release through the hamstrings and the glutes. Place both heels down on the floor, hug yourself in for a quick breath. And then let's roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time, ending all the way at the top with our head. Inhaling the arms up overhead, and exhale, let them fall down to your sides. For our first move, we'll come into a lunge with our left foot in front and our hands on our hips, bending down into our lunge, pulsing twice at the bottom, and then straightening through the legs. In 3, 2, and 1. So bend into your lunge, pulse, pulse, and straighten through the legs. Pulse, pulse, and straighten. When you bend into your lunge, you want to make sure that your left knee is stacking over your left ankle and that it's not pushing it too far forward over the ankle, as that could compromise your knee, and we certainly don't want that. You've got a little over 20 seconds left here. Inhaling as you double pulse, exhaling to press through the legs and straighten. So inhale, inhale, exhale, straighten. Pulling the belly button back towards the spine, making sure there's not an arch through the lower back for these final 10 seconds here. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Next up, left foot is still forward, but the right leg is straight, and we're tapping it in to meet the left and then sending it back. As the foot taps in, our arms will press back behind our hips, and as the leg goes long, arms will reach up overhead. In 2, and 1, tap the leg in and back, in and back, arms press back and reach forward, back and reach forward, really engage through the arms, reaching long through the fingers, getting that little bit of work through the triceps as we really work into that left glute and get the heart rate up a little bit. If this is feeling a little bit too easy for you, go ahead and sink deeper into that left side, so bending farther into your knee. to really target the left glute and the left quad as we tap our foot out and in, inhaling to reach back and exhaling to pull the knee in, squeezing through the core. We are just here for a little over 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Last move in this left lunge. We'll pulse through the left leg with the foot hopping from center, crossing over to the left, back to center, and opening out to the right. So really burning out through the left glute in 3, 2, and 1. So pulse through the left leg, cross the foot behind, center, and open. Center, cross, and behind. So just working every area of that glute, giving a little pulse through the left side as you hop the foot out, center, and cross. I like to hinge forward a bit at the waist, drawing belly button back towards the spine to make sure that I don't have any arch through my low back, and that all of the work is coming from that left side, that left glute here. This is our last move on this leg, so really give it all you got. We've got 10 more seconds here. Just 5, breathing through it. 3, 2, and 1. Next up, we've got a modified burpee, so arms will reach up and down. We'll step back to our plank, step the feet back in, raise up, lift onto the toes, and then dive forward again, stepping back and in 2, and 1. So reach the arms up overhead, dive forward to the mat, step right foot back to plank, left back, right in, left in, arms reach up, heels raise, and we dive forward, step back, in, arms reach up, heels raise, working the calves, and dive forward, taking this at whatever pace you like. So if I'm going a little bit too quick for you, feel free to slow it down or speed it up, maybe jumping back in from your plank, whatever's working for you today. So dive forward, step the feet back, step them in, reach the arms up, lift the heels. 10 more seconds here, you got this. Just 3, 2, and 1. Let's come into that lunge series on the right side now. No surprises here. So the right foot is stepped forward, hands are on the hips, and we're giving that double pulse and then straightening through the legs. In 3, 2, and 1. So pulse, and straighten through the legs. Inhale, exhale, pressing up. Inhale, exhale. And just like the other side, you want to make sure that right knee is stacking over the right ankle to avoid any pain through the knee joint, and pulling the belly button back towards the spine to make sure that your glutes aren't sticking out behind you and causing an arch in your back, as that could cause some discomfort through the lower spine. We've got 15 seconds left here as we inhale, exhale, press up, working into the right glute now as we inhale, and exhale. Pulse, and straighten, just for 2 and 1. Let's come into those skaters now. So right knee is bent, left leg is straight, tapping in to meet the right and going out long as the arms press back and reach forward. 5 more seconds and we'll get into this move in 2 and 1. So tap the left foot in and back, arms press back and reach up. Back and reach up, reaching long through the fingertips, engaged through the triceps, the backs of the arms, sitting deep into the right side, but making sure that we're pressing in to the entire surface area of the foot and not dumping our weight into the outer edge of the foot to really target the glute and the quad here on that right side, drawing the belly button back up towards the spine as we hinge slightly forward at the hips to put all the weight into that right glute and none into the lower back. We're here for 10 more seconds. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Last move in these lunges, we've got those pulsing movements here as we pulse center, cross over to the right, pulse center, and cross over to the left. In 3, 2, and 1, pulse crossing over to the right, pulse center, and open to the left. Center, to the right, center, to the left, giving a big up and down pulse through that right side each time, coming into a full lunge in each of these foot positions, working into that right glute, burning it out in this final lunge move of this class as we pulse and pulse. I like to inhale as the foot comes down and exhale to press up and hop it over to its next position. We've got a little over 10 seconds here, and then we'll switch it up. Just here for 3, 2, and 1. Let's come into alternating oblique crunches now. So arms are in goalpost. We'll draw elbow to knee, hop over to the other side, and draw opposite elbow to knee. In 3, 2, and 1, lift elbow to knee, jump to the other side, elbow to knee. If the little hop is not working for you today, always feel free to just step it over to the other side. But if you're wanting a higher intensity option, you can add in the little jump or even make it more exaggerated, whatever's working for you. You want to exhale as elbow draws down towards the knee and inhale as you hop over to the other side, feeling that squeeze through the oblique, through the side of the waist as we exhale, exhale, and inhale. Just a bit over 10 seconds left here. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring our feet hip distance now. We'll pulse twice in a squat and lift one leg out to the side. Pulse twice down and lift the other leg. Working into the glutes and the side glutes here as we pulse and lift in 2 and 1. So pulse twice in the squat, lift the left leg up. Pulse twice in the squat and lift the right leg. This is a bit of a balance challenge, so as you raise up and lift that leg, keep a slight bend through the standing leg to give you a little bit more stability and really give some power as you lift that leg up to the side, working into that side glute, exhaling as you kick the leg up, inhaling to pulse twice at the bottom. So inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. We've just got 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Let's bend into the right knee now. Left knee is straight out to the side, elbows wide with the hands behind the head. And we'll draw left knee in, rotating the upper body to reach right elbow over towards the left knee in 2 and 1. So crunch in and reach, crunch and reach, exhaling as you draw knee across towards the elbow, inhaling as you reach everything back out through the center. I want you to really focus on rotating through the middle of your back or your thoracic spine here, and trying to keep your hips pointing forward the entire time, so the rotation is really coming from the midsection of the body, really getting into the obliques and the sides of the waist here, as we exhale and inhale, driving the knee in towards the elbow with power here. So exhale, crunch in, inhale, reach, exhale, crunch and reach. 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Next up, we are just repeating that move on the other side. So left foot is on the ground now, right leg is out to the side, and we're crunching the right knee in towards the left elbow, rotating through the mid-back in 3, 2, and 1. So crunch the knee in and out, exhale and inhale, just like with the other side. We're rotating through the middle of the spine, keeping the hips pointed forward. So it's just the midsection of the body that's really getting that rotation to put all the work into those obliques, into the abs, the sides of the waist. As we exhale, drive the knee across, reaching the elbow towards the knee, and inhale, sending it out long. Sitting deep into that left side, getting a little bit of glute work here as a bonus, but really working into the obliques as the focus of this move. We've just got 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Next up, we've got 4 modified jumping jacks, followed by 4 cross punches as we step one foot out to the side, and then we'll repeat doing 4 of each move. In 3, 2, and 1. So jumping jack for 2, 3, 4, cross punch, 2, 3, and 4. So alternating stepping one foot out to the side and just switching up what the upper body is doing every 4 moves. This is our final move standing. The rest of this class will be down on the mat. So really give it all you got, maybe pick up the pace a little bit. If you're wanting a bit more of a challenge, you can come into a full jumping jack and then hop side to side as you do your cross punches. But if you want to keep it low impact, stick with these modified jumping jacks followed by the stepping side to side with the cross reach. We've got 5 more seconds here, then we head to the mat in 3, 2, and 1. Come onto your back now in a bridge position with your heels digging into the ground and the toes lifted. Keeping the hips lifted the entire time, we're stepping the heels out one at a time and stepping them back in, working the hamstrings in 3, 2, and 1. So step out, out, in, step out, in, alternating which heel starts each time to put equal work into both hamstrings. The goal here is really to keep the hips lifted up at the same height the entire time. So as you step the heels out, make sure they're not dropping down. Really engage through the back side of the legs, the hamstrings, and the glutes to keep the hips nice and lifted, and pull the belly button down towards the spine, reducing any arch through the back to avoid discomfort through the lower spine. We've got under 10 seconds here. You can do it. Just 3, 2, and 1. Let's stay lifted in our bridge now. Lift one knee up to tabletop. Give a little down and up pulse with the hips. Place the foot back down and lift the other foot up, keeping the hips lifted the entire time in 3, 2, and 1. So lift the right knee, pulse hips down and up. Right foot comes down, left knee lifts, hips pulse down and up. Left foot comes down and right knee lifts. So hips are staying lifted in your bridge the entire time, never dropping down to the mat to maximize that time under tension for the glutes and the hamstrings as we lift, pulse down and up. Place the foot down, lift, pulse down and up. Place the foot down, breathing however feels naturally to you. I like to exhale, lift the knee, inhale, lower, exhale, lift, and inhale, place the foot back down. Just a little over 10 seconds here. You got this. Keep breathing. Just 7 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips. Come down onto your forearms now with your left knee on the ground and your right leg extended back. We'll lift the leg, pulse twice in the air, and then lower it back down, working into that right glute in 3, 2, and 1. So lift the leg, give me pulse, pulse, and lower it down. Pulse, pulse, and lower. Only lifting your leg so high that you've got a straight line from your heel to the top of your head to avoid an arch through your lower back. Engaging through the core and lifting the belly button up towards the spine will also help with that. You really want the work here to be coming from the glute and not from that lower spine. As you pulse the leg up, give me a little squeeze through the underside of that glute, and as you lower down, try not to put too much weight onto that right leg. Just tap the ground and lift it right back up, giving me a pulse, pulse, and lower. Exhale, exhale, inhale, just for 3, 2, and 1. Step it back into a forearm plank now. We'll pike the hips up and then shift back into our plank in our dolphin pike, forming a straight line from the hips down towards the elbows. In 3, 2, and 1. Starting in your plank, pike your hips up, and then shift back forward into your forearm plank. Pike your hips up, and shift forward, exhaling as you lift the hips, pulling the belly button in. Inhale, shift forward to your plank. Imagine that somebody tied a belt around your waist and they're lifting and lowering you by that belt. So really engaging through your lower core and using that to lift your hips up into the sky and then shift forward into your plank, making sure your hips don't drop below that plank position to put all the work into that core. You've got under 10 seconds left. You got this. Just 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come into the other side of that double pulse leg lift now. So forearms are down, right knee is down, left leg is extended back now. We pulse, pulse, and lower the leg in 3, 2, and 1. Pulse up, up, and down. Lift, lift, and lower, giving me an exhale, exhale, inhale, lower the leg. Exhale, exhale, inhale, lower. Same rules apply as the other side. We want the work to come from the glute here, so the core is nice and engaged. The leg isn't lifting too high, so that you're really feeling this in that underside of the glute and the hamstring. As we exhale, exhale, inhale, lower. Exhale, exhale, and lower, pressing down through the forearms, active through the upper body here, just 10 seconds left. Just 3, 2, and 1. Coming back into our forearm plank in our hip dips, rotating the hips to the right side of the mat, and then up and over to the left, targeting the obliques. In 3, 2, and 1, so hips drop to the right, up and over to the left, up and over to the right, and to the left. The rotation here, like with all of our moves, is coming from the middle of your back, so the forearms, shoulders, and chest are staying pointed straight down through the mat the entire time, and we're rotating through the middle of the spine to drop the hips to the right, and up and over to the left, breathing however feels naturally to you here. Make sure the hips are staying nice and lifted and not sagging down towards the floor here. I know this is challenging, but you can do it. We've just got 10 seconds left in this plank move, and then we get a quick break. Just 3, 2, and 1. Now everybody's favorite, we've got a tricep push-up followed by a child's pose. So we'll shift forward, keeping a straight line from the top of the head to the knees, bend into a push-up, and sit back in our child's pose in 2 and 1. So bend the elbows, press up through the palms, sit the hips back for a quick rest. Shift forward, elbows bend, straighten, and hips sit back to a child's pose. We inhale, bend the elbows, scraping them by the ribs. Exhale, press up into your child's pose. Tucking the elbows in towards the body to really target the triceps and the backs of the arms here. You should feel your elbows scrape by the sides as you bend into them. As you inhale, shift forward, bend the elbows. Exhale, press up and back, just 10 more seconds. Maybe get a little bit lower in this next push-up. And push back. Give me one more push-up. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Let's burn out the triceps now, coming into a reverse tabletop position, giving me a pulse, pulse with the elbows, and then straightening them back up. Pulse, pulse, and straighten. Knees stacking over the ankles in 2 and 1. So pulse, pulse, and press up through the palms. Pulse, pulse, and press up. So the fingertips are facing in towards the heels here, bending into the elbows, pulsing twice, and straightening. Make sure that you're lowering and lifting by bending the elbows and using the strength of your triceps rather than by lowering the hips and using the strength of the glutes. This is an upper body move, and we really want to burn out the backs of the arms before coming into our final 5 moves of ab exercises. We've just got 10 seconds here, inhaling to pulse through the elbows, exhaling, press up. You can do it, just 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Lay on your back now with your knees in tabletop and your hands stacked on top of each other overhead. We'll crunch up through the upper body, open the legs into a V shape, and pulse the hands through the legs 2 times and coming back down. Here we go. Crunch up, open the legs, pulse, pulse. Lower everything down, arms come overhead, reach up, pulse, pulse. Knees come back to tabletop, squeezing together, crunch up, pulse, pulse, and lower down. We exhale to reach the hands through 2 times. Inhale, roll down through the spine, knees come together. So exhale, exhale, inhale, lower down. Really lifting your head, neck, and shoulder blades up off the ground. Reaching the hands through the legs should help with that to really propel you forward. For your final 10 seconds here, you can do it. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, pulse up and up. Inhale, lower down just for 3, 2, and 1. Knees stay in tabletop now, hands come behind the head. We crunch up through the upper body, lower the heels down to the mat. Lift them back up over the hips and then lower the upper body down in 3, 2, and 1. So crunch up, heels lower down to the mat. They lift back up over the hips, upper body lowers. Again, exhale, crunch up. Inhale, heels lower. Exhale, they lift up. Inhale, upper body comes down. Knees are squeezing together here with the feet flexed to bring the work into the core and take it out of the hip flexors as much as possible as we crunch head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, heels tap down, and lift up. Lower back is imprinted into the mat here, and if that means you can't lower your heels down as far, that is perfectly fine. You want to keep a good form rather than trying to lower your legs as far as you possibly can. We've just got 3 more seconds here, 2, and 1. Next up, knees are still in tabletop, but the upper body stays flat on the floor as we tilt the knees over to one side, extend the legs straight, bend them in, and then bring it back through center. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Knees are in tabletop, they tilt to the right, legs kick out, bend and pull through center. Rotate over to the left, legs extend, bend, and draw through center. Inhale, rotate, exhale, kick out. Inhale, bend, exhale, use the sides of your waist to pull your knees back through the center. Both of your shoulders are staying placed on the floor the entire time here, so make sure one doesn't creep up as you tip your knees over to one side. So inhale, tip over, exhale, kick out. Inhale, bend. Exhale, knees draw back over the hips. 10 more seconds here, and then we've just got 2 moves left. You can do it. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Next up, hands are behind the head, upper body is lifted. We switch the legs 4 times straight, and then add a rotation for 4 times. So 4 single leg stretches, followed by 4 crisscross or bicycle crunch in 2, and 1. So switch center, 2, 3, 4, add a rotation for 2, 3, and 4. Hold center, switch, and switch. Just 2, and 1, and rotate 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathing however feels naturally to you here, but make sure that you are breathing because this is not an easy move. Hold through center, switch the knees, and rotate, drawing opposite elbow towards opposite knee, working into the obliques, working the center core as we freeze the upper body and move just the legs, and then add in that rotation. You've got 1 move left after this in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Finishing this class with a bang, coming into a straight arm plank, drawing knees towards the elbows, dropping down to the forearms, repeating that knee to elbow movement, and then pressing back up to the palms. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. So draw right knee to right elbow and back, left knee to left and back, right forearm down, left, right knee to right elbow, left knee to left elbow, right palm presses up and left. Let's do that all again. So just drawing the knee outside to the same side elbow, really getting into the sides of the waist again, and then working the center core as we press down and up from the palms, trying to minimize the amount of rocking side to side that's happening in the hips. This is your final move. Give it all you've got. You've got a little bit more than 10 seconds here. Press up through the palms, engage through the core. This is it. 5 more seconds. Keep breathing. Just 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knees down onto your mat. Sit the hips back for a child's pose. You have certainly earned it. Take a bunch of deep breaths here, just reaching forward through the hands, feeling your breath expand through your back, just taking a second to cool down here. And then when you're ready, let's shift forward onto all 4s. Inhale, drop your stomach to the floor, tilt your chin up, arching your back. Exhale, chin tucks towards the chest, we round through the spine. 1 more, inhale into your cow pose, arching through the back, stretching out the front of the body. Exhale, curve through the spine, stretching out the back. Find your neutral spine, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up into your downward facing dog now. Just alternating, pedaling out the legs, bending into one knee. Feeling that release for the glutes and the hamstrings. And then reach both heels down towards the floor, deepening that stretch. And when you're ready, bend your knees, walk your hands back towards your feet into your forward fold. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, sway slightly side to side, ending class just like how we started. And then release your hands down, shake your head yes and no, releasing any tension through the neck. Grab a hold of the back of your legs, now pull yourself in for a hug. That was not an easy class and you did it, you should be so proud of yourself. And then go ahead and release your arms and gently roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time, ending all the way at the top by lifting up your head. And then inhale, reach your arms overhead, exhale, bring them down by your sides. And that is it for today's 30-minute cardio Pilates workout. I hope you liked it. If you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.